All right, back out scouting, public this weekend. I got Bob with me over here. Hey, Bob, how you doing?
Hey, guys.
And we're on the upper top third of a ridge line, you could. I'll turn the camera around here in a minute, but definitely defined travel corridor for the deer. You see over here. We've got a nice rub on the tree. Probably where they're zigging and zagging up top. Looks like there's a bunch of oaks up there, probably oak flat area for feeding. And you can see a pretty well defined trail coming along this upper third. It drops down into a pretty steep drop down to a creek bottom. So cool stuff. Stick with us. All right, we're gonna keep following this path right here. See a little run shooting out down here to this creek down here. But we're gonna stay on this upper third. Eventually we have to drop down into creek bottom, but not quite yet. All right, so we're working through a little saddle here. You can see saddle's back up this way, and of course you make it around the saddle. It's kind of the low point at the top of the saddle, and sure enough, we're into some rubs. We got some, obviously this one right here. We've got one straight down the hill down there. I'm sure there's some on the other side. We found one back over here somewhere. So clearly this has been used historically. Yeah, pretty good little area over here. Nothing super fresh, but hey, bucks have used it before, so that tells me something. So yeah, stay with us. All right, so we followed that around the horn, and what's interesting is we're finding actually fresh buck poop, and you can see where it's heading back up into bedding, where you can see all that thick stuff over there, thick, and you can see where everything's kind of browsed down over in here. Zoom in a little bit, and bedding somewhere over there. Actually, pretty fresh buck poop, so probably from last night or this morning. But basically, we've got a cell cam out. Check out what's going on there. And here is a deer on the camera that we just hung. But we are not far from a cornfield, probably a couple, maybe 150 yards. So on private, so we're not far from the border. But this is shaping up to be an excellent spot. Just have to figure out access next, but we're gonna keep on. We'll see in a little bit. Way down in the bottom now. Came off those hills and retrieved one of our old cameras that wasn't really yielding much because looks like the trail led right behind the camera, which is kind of funny. But yep. Here's a big trail coming through this bottom over here. It is pretty robust. We found a nice bed too down here. It's nice and cool down here, so the deer are definitely bedding down here during the hot days and stuff. You got a swamp over this way. You got some hills basically straight ahead of you, and there's a cornfield this direction, a little bit more swamp over back behind us, so it's interesting little transition zone. Also seeing some turkey signs, so kind of interesting place. Got to keep this in the mental Rolodex, so to speak. So we're gonna head on back over to where that rub was that I found last week, and try and trace that back to bedding, and then get ourselves full of Gatorade and get our asses out of here. So we will catch you on the other side of this hill. All right, so we're back at the truck. As we were heading over to that rub, it started thundering and lightning again, so I guess we need to do this earlier in the day. But anyhow, found a lot of good stuff, and we're gonna have to come back out here and do a little bit more scouting, but certainly good stuff. Right, Bob?
Good. Right away.
Yeah, we did some a lot of work today, so anyhow, we'll be back out here next time.
Well, look at it this way. You never lose. You just run out. The clock just runs out. So
Yeah.
we'll be back.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye.